Welcome to the Waiting List podcast. Tell us a story.
It's like many things you start building from scratch.
And then I'm like, wait, I really do like watches because
you've seen so many watches that makes you excited.
I think I really do like watches.
Yeah. I think it's a great way to see if you are a watch enthusiast. All right, welcome to the Waiting List podcast, where I, Daniel, am joined by Lung Lung and Jacqueline. Today we have invited Ronald Chew, who runs the @Horologym account on IG, but is also a member of Singapore Watch Club and also SWAG, which is it's a Singapore Watch Appreciation something. What does G stand for again, Ron?
Group.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I knew it was such a difficult word.
So fast.
Yeah, very difficult. Yeah. Group. So Singapore Watch Appreciation Group. But thanks for turning up, Ron, and we'll dive straight into it. So you are a personal trainer in Singapore.
Yes, I am.
Is that what you set out to do right from the start, or was it one of those hobby turn professions?
It is a hobby turned profession. So when I was young, I remember having the ambition of being a policeman. See, growing up reading comics, I always thought about being a superhero and catching criminal and solving crimes. So, of course, naturally, being a policeman is closest to that. But unfortunately, I am colorblind. So that is already one of the criteria that is already struck out. So I'm not eligible to be one.
Oh.
So going back to my passion, working out and hitting the gym started when I was back in the army. So I was first introduced to hitting the gym just to prepare us for basic military training. So in fact, I actually failed my individual physical proficiency test, IPPT for short. So I actually had to get enlisted 2 months before the rest of the recruits. So day in, day out.
Is that the punishment? That's the punishment, is it? If we're not getting past this. This is a physical test.
You can put it that way. Correct.
It's a physical test.
Yeah. So basically the 2 months, or rather 8 weeks. Yeah, 8 weeks is purely on doing PE.
Okay.
So day in, day out, just building out our stamina so that we are ready. Yeah.
Is this the so-called like fat camp?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah. It basically we're just people who just failed the physical fitness test. So we had to enlist 2 months earlier just to build up our stamina before the rest of the so-called fitter guys get enlisted, and we do our BMT together. So that was then that
these 2 months, you guys wouldn't be able to handle the physical activity level of like normal guys or health.
Correct.
I see.
But surprisingly, we were fitter than those who enlisted later because we were already in our peak condition, whereas those guys have been slacking off in their civilian life.
But the thing is, the test is actually quite hard, right? You have to do pull-ups and stuff. Like, who can do a pull-up just like that?
Well, the fitter guys.
Actually, what is the test? What do you need to do? I want to see if I can do it.
Okay. This was the old system. So we had sit-ups, pull-ups.
Yeah, but how many?
Jump. Oh, depending on your age category again, then they have the
so let's say the time you enlisted, how many were you supposed to do?
Pull-ups, I am supposed to do 6 to clear, but we have to hit a standard of a silver. That means I have to do an 8 pull-up.
Pull-ups.
8 pull-ups.
8 pull-ups.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
not
an average. Actually,
8 pull-ups in 1 hour.
1 hour.
No, in one go.
One go.
Dude, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when I enlisted, I did 0 pull-ups.
Oh, you couldn't do one.
So I couldn't do one, not a single one.
What?
So
How
when
can anyone do a pull-up? I don't understand. How can anyone on the streets randomly, from like an 18-year-old guy from school, like you, go to a pull-up?
No.
How?
Some people can.
They would normally.
Yeah, some people can.
Yeah.
I would say.
I would
say the majority can't though.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Or depends on their sports they play in school. So probably they have some training prior to enlisting into the army.
How many pull-ups can you do now?
Now 12.
No.
Okay.
My highest, my my best score was 2, and that was like by myself. But then when we're training, they actually tie a bandage, not bandage, like
resistance band,
rubber bands,
yeah,
and then on the pole, and then you can do a lot. But that's because you have something.
You're assisted.
Yeah, but then like myself, I could only like do 2 rough, like barely.
I can do about 12.
I think I can do 12 too, like standing on someone.
So okay.
So how many sit-ups? Those aren't hard to do. Sit-ups.
Sit-ups, 40 in a minute.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Continue.
Standing broad jump. So standing broad jump will be 216 centimeters to pass.
What?
And then we'll end off with a 2.4 km run. So if I remember correctly, we would have
this is speed. It's not like you just run it.
Yeah, in 11 minutes, 30 seconds or less.
Dude, that is
easy
not
for Long, right?
No, it's not. Like, I just cannot imagine anyone randomly being able to do this without training.
But
Correct.
you know it's coming, right? You know the test is coming. So can you train before the test?
You could, but I mean, as a teenager, this is the last thing on your mind, right?
Yeah. All right. Okay. So you what you're saying is you were a bit unfit.
I was very unfit.
You failed that test, and
Correct.
then sorry, we interrupted you. Continue.
So I was very unfit back then. I had ghosts running past me in school. I was one of the last 5 people in class. So I ended up puking after the run each time. I remember. Yeah. So that was when I was 18.
Wait, so were you very fat?
Yes, I was on the plus side all my life.
Okay.
So this passion thing, so I enlisted into the army. Once I'm done with that, and then I got into a local polytechnic. So that was then when I was actually trying to woo a crush. So I mean, I was trying to lose weight. So to be precise, it was actually a 2-month semester break. So I read up on articles like magazines like Men's Health and Flex magazine, trying to find the proper way to lose weight. So I did it. I lost 14 kilos. Managed to get actually fitter than I was back in the army. Yes, I did that.
The attraction of women is a great motivator.
I know. But at the end of the day, I didn't get her. So that's that.
Oh.
But anyway,
I have a very similar story with a very similar ending.
Oh my God.
So basically, I got friend zoned. But anyways, so I went back to school. Everybody took a second look at me. So then boys, because I was the older student, 5 years older than my classmates, they started to ask me how to get fit and go to the gym. So being the older guy, I brought them to the gym, and then I did the demonstration and told them what I did over the last 2 months during the semester break. So that was then that I so-called found my calling as a personal trainer. I thought it was pretty fun to help people to get fit, especially for these boys who are going to be graduating from the Polytechnic and then enlisted into the army.
I'm still very amazed by the fact that you're colorblind. So does that mean everything is black and white?
No. That's a misconception.
Yeah, so what color do you see?
Probably a bit of red and brown, but I can tell the individual colors. But you give me that chart with the
color charts.
The color charts that
you can't see the numbers. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, wow. I mean, certain charts are very obvious, but most of them are not obvious to me.
Well, what we do is after the call, I'll send you some of those charts, Long, and you can see, and then you can see what it is, like how they see it, and how like people that are not colorblind see it, and they just can't see.
So let's just say what I'm wearing now. Can you see there's a print, like there's different colors on this print?
Give me a sec. Yep. Orange.
So you can
red, blue, black linings. Yep.
Okay. So it's okay. So it's just like a filter.
How do you see our faces?
Yes. A little bit,
yeah. Orangey now with the lights.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Jacqueline's. That is
Damn.
Jacqueline's color. She's orangey.
Yeah. It's a good job you can't smell her. But
I knew that was coming.
But Ron, you
Yeah.
actually, despite finding your calling in your job, you actually went and still did an office job, right? At first.
Yeah. That
So
was
what
during
happened
my
then? Like you
internship.
had this calling of your job, then you went into an office job. What, what was the thinking behind that?
That office job was actually my internship during the school days. So I was attached to a shipping company. So basically doing filing and admin stuff. So I mean, from there, I actually liked my colleagues. I was actually thinking of joining them as a full-time permanent staff after graduating, but I don't see myself being desk-bound. I don't like a regular 9 to 5 job. So I think just going into the health and fitness industry is the next best thing for me. Yeah.
So when you came to that decision, was it an easy decision to leave that desk job and go to personal trainer? Did you have any barriers? Did you have any resistance, let's say, from your parents? After spending so much time in the education system, they might have an opinion, especially Asian parents. Did they have any opinion on that?
They're actually pretty supportive of it. So my mom asked me if this is this what I really wanted. So I say, yeah. So upon my last paper in school, right, I finished my last paper. I went down to the gym, the clubhouse, to register for a certificate in personal training. So next thing I know is the money was on the coffee table. I grab it and then I paid for it, registered.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome to have such supportive parents.
Yeah.
And also I would say very open-minded.
Very.
I think it's great that, a lot of people don't find their calling in life ever, and that for those that do, it also takes some guts to go and follow it. And, a lot of positivity right away from the start, in your career pathway. So you knew what you wanted to do and then you hunted it down.
For sure.
But, when you did change, what was the reality actually like? How was it at the start when you became a personal trainer? I take it you did the training and then after that, your first job. What was the reality like when it hit home?
To be honest, I have nothing to lose because this is my first job since graduating, right? So if all else fail, I can probably just go back to HR, the one which I majored in. So I did business studies back then. So in reality, back then, I was actually drawing a lesser salary than my peers who were in HR. I draw a lesser salary, plus I work 6 days, including burning my Saturdays and Sundays. It's basically a service line job. It's a long, full day. Things weren't great back then because I was a nobody. I wouldn't say I'm popular now. Nobody wants to get a rookie for a personal trainer, right? I mean, at the clubhouse that I used to be based in as a full-time trainer, there were so many senior trainers over there. So, I mean, I kind of see them with many clients day in, day out, have a packed schedule. Then I was thinking to myself is if I could be like them one day. So from there, I just pick and learn. And then I'll just see visual cues and pick up what are the things they did with their clients and trying to learn from the not so good personal trainers, if I may say, and not to practice the things that they did back then with the clients.
Yeah.
So how long did it take before you got to a position of comfort, I would say?
A year after being a full-time floor trainer there. So I pulled out with just 5 clients at hand. And then I went into full-time freelance on my second year of personal training. Yeah.
Okay. And were there risks with that as well? Like pulling out from the gym?
There was. So I wasn't sure if I was able to retain the 5 of them. So basically what I did was like a calculated move. So these 5 clients was able to sustain me like I was drawing a basic salary at the gym,
Mm.
but with lesser number of hours clocked. And then I didn't have to spend a full day out. So, for example, I can just do a couple of sessions in the morning, couple of sessions in the evening. Then I have my entire afternoon free for myself, rather than just being stationed at the gym and then just not doing
killing
much.
your time.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So just out of interest though, you know, you had that more flexible timeline schedule.
Mhm.
What were you doing in the time where you weren't actually taking the clients?
Working out.
Working out for 10 hours?
No.
I was going to say, if you're doing that much working out, you better lift up that t-shirt and let us show us the six pack.
Yeah, I was working out and then basically just trying to get more clients as well. So just kind of so-called fishing around the gym. I mean,
okay.
I was at the clubhouse. It wasn't a commercial gym. So, I mean, yes, sales is important, but it wasn't so much of a sales driven. We weren't given a sales target though. Yeah, so it's up to us.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, go for
it. So is there like a lot of hostility, like subtle hostility between personal trainers? Because
exactly what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Because I am when I'm in the States, I go to the gym on the weekends called Equinox, which is, you know, like a pretty high-end gym. And I used to work with a personal trainer there, and we became really good friends to the fact that he would tell me a lot of things, right? So, you know, when we're working out and you have to borrow equipment, I think it's so funny when like he has to borrow equipment from another personal trainer who's working with another client who's using that equipment. So he's really curious about, oh, hey man, like, are you done with that set? Like, can we borrow it real quick? And then the guy was like, yeah, sure. And then like he grabs the equipment and just shakes his head and was like, yeah, what's up? And then I know for sure that he has to pass through all these exams just so he could move up like the ladder and become, you know, with Equinox, because there are like tiers, right? And I think he's like one of the highest tiers. So then he was trying to reach the top tier, and then he was telling me how difficult it is to get evaluated and then to move up the tier. So that's my question. Like, he never told me that, you know, with clear words, like black and white, but have you ever experienced like hostility between personal trainers and you and other people?
Yeah.
It's like a industry standard or just up to the people?
There are. I've encountered. So basically politics are everywhere, right? So there will always be a case where one personal trainer is not happy with the other, be it whether his or her clients do certain things at the gym or just hogging of equipment. So it's kind of like, you know, there's always like a set number of benches at the gym. Then during the peak hour, there are always many trainers and clients at the same time. So I'm sure many of them want to do the so-called popular exercises like bench presses.
Yeah.
So there are only like two benches at the gym, so everybody wants to do it. So it's like, who's going to go first?
Especially on a Monday, International Chest Press Day.
Yeah. So I mean, but generally speaking, from where I started off my career, I think the personal trainers here are just minding their own business. I mean, there are a few bad apples in the basket. Yeah.
Okay.
But not all. Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. So you know how the bigger chain, am I allowed to name these gyms? But it's okay, right? Because it's not like...
Well, you don't work for them.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, I don't want to badmouth these gyms because I think, like you said, there's a few bad apples, right? But you know, the bigger gyms, some of them have policies, like they cannot approach like a gym goer and be like, do you need a personal trainer? And then some do, right? Because they need sales, like their targets. So what is something that you can do at the gym to deter them from coming to you to ask, do you need a trainer? Like, what are the signs that make you go, yeah, I think she's ready for me to ask her, does she need one?
Can I just go in for that?
Yeah.
Because like I'm in China and that kind of stuff is pretty rife. Yeah. I mean, they are calling me, you know, and I'm not even at the gym. asking me.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
so I'm like, nah, I do the normal thing, which is just hang up. But when I'm at the gym,
Yeah.
I've noticed if you get to a point where you're pretty good, that you look in better shape than them, they don't try.
Okay.
If you look like what you're doing, they're like, do you know what? I can't get any money out of this guy because this guy knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the systems and plus. So if you're doing like supersets, for example, right? Supersets isn't something that you would normally do unless you were further down the line of gym experience, right? Everybody just does their set. Also, people that are serious trainers, let's be honest, Ron, I'm sure you agree with this. Yeah. They train themselves or with a personal trainer. They don't go down as a group for a cup of tea. Yeah. They're not to like do a few sets, pump it, and then chat with their mateys. Yeah. So just from there, somebody that's an experienced trainer, also by their kit. I've seen people in the China gym turn up with like, what the hell are you wearing? How are you expecting like pullovers and stuff? Like, how are you gonna like, straight up not experienced. So you know who to attack. So I've never had someone telling me. I had one guy at my new gym. He was seeing me do an Arnold press. Which is kind of a shoulder press. And he was like, what are you doing? So I was like, I'm doing an Arnold press. And he was like, oh, you're supposed to do it like this. So he just showed me a normal shoulder press, right? So then I got the video. I was like, damn, man, you're affecting my rest time now. But I was like, okay, I'll show you the video. He looked at the video and literally said nothing and walked away.
Oh my God.
Like, that was it. But sorry, Ron, what's your opinion on that? I just had to say that. But what do you say?
I think basically you just answer to Long Long's question. I agree with you. So basically, if you're just working out at the gym with proper form and technique, I'm sure it will definitely deter personal trainers from trying to approach you to kind of hard sell you packages. Yeah. And if you look the part as well, like what Dan said, so I think, this will kind of like stop trainers from trying to approach you if you look better than them.
In Hong Kong, I use Fitness First, and because they're so I'm so antisocial, so I have my AirPods in from the moment I even walk through the door. And then when I'm running, so I'll run on the treadmill, right? But for me to zone out, you have to use a lot of like I have like mantras and all this stuff in my head. Like mentally, I need to zone out. So the run is super like easy for me, right? So and the running machine has sensors in the back. So sometimes if somebody blocks the sensor, it will just emergency stop. So I'm actually concerned about that because I don't want to trip, right? So these trainers, what they do is they're like, how do I ask her, does she need a trainer? And what they do is I'm so in the zone, I can't even see someone's like next to me. Suddenly the next to where you do like change the speed and they're like, hello. And I'm like, fuck. Like, straight away, I'm just like, fuck. And then I take off my headphone and the first few times I'm like, oh, is it too loud? Or I'll think something happened. So I'll be like, oh, did I do something wrong or whatever? And then I realized they keep asking me, do you need a trainer? That I'm so annoyed. My natural instinct now is I take it off and straight away I'm like, I just say, I don't need a trainer. Like, I don't need a trainer. Because I was like, this is excessive.
Just get your bitch face on. Like, basically, when anyone disturbs me in my training, about it. I mean, forget a personal training come to you. I don't respond to anything on my phone. Because I like to just zone out and focus and sweat and I'm really on it with my rest period. So I hate it if you disrupt my rest period. So but Ron, actually, let's just tip that over a little bit. There's also a bunch of people at the gym that don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm not a personal trainer, but even I like look at them and think, okay, if you want to fuck your back up, that's the way to do it. And sometimes I see them using the machine, like that's not how you use the machine. I've never seen it used like that, right? Do you ever feel like I gotta go and tell them? Because like I'm looking when I'm training, you see it so bad. I'm in the mirror doing my weights and I can see it in the corner of my eye. And You know what I mean? You want to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
something, but for me as a guy, I just think a gym is a terribly, unfortunately, macho place for guys, right? So it's like if you say anything, a guy is going to be like, "Oh my god, you are questioning my masculinity," right? What do you mean I
Yeah.
don't know how to lift weights? Yeah, I can lift. I can lift like 10 kgs heavier than you, but you know, sometimes it's not about the weight. Yeah,
It's
you know,
about the technique and how
it's
you.
about technique and the reps. Yeah.
Yep.
And the rest period. Like if I'm having like half a minute rest period, you see if you can like lift up this. Yeah. Of course, if you're going to pump like two reps out at like, I don't know, 40 kgs per arm. Yeah, I could probably do it too. But you do it that way and see if you can still do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do in those situations? Do you just leave people to get injured or what?
If I'm in my uniform, I'll try my best to try to correct them. But if I'm out of uniform, of course, if I were to approach them, I'll just let them be. To be honest, the first year when I was a PT, right, I was overly enthusiastic. So I go around the gym trying to correct people. Then I realized I'm probably being too excessive. Yeah. So
feels
the
like one
second
of
year
the ones that we hated.
yeah. So the second year onwards, not that I'm being less excessive. I just close one eye, say.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much I can do, right? I mean, what pisses me off is I'm trying to help the person, and then he or she is just yeah, okay, got it. Then I walk away. The next thing I know, that person just continues doing the same old shit. So, I mean, it pisses me off at the beginning, but now I think about it, this guy is not paying me money, so forget it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think the worst one is, right? The worst one for me that really, every time I see it, I really feel a strong urge is actually on the treadmill. When I see them put the incline up, right? And they hold onto the bar.
Exactly.
Yeah, they hold onto the bar. Yeah, and think they're doing something. Like, I really want to go, do you know you're actually negating the effects
out your
of the incline,
of the inclination.
Yeah, of the inclination because you're holding onto that bar. But I feel like they think it's so impressive. They would never listen to you. And I'm like there running, on like 2 or something, so you can't really see the incline. Yeah.
And they're like,
but I always see that and I think,
I think it's better off for them to just walk on a lateral plane without holding onto the bar. It takes more effort doing that than just holding on and leaning back. Right?
Do you know what? I feel sorry for anybody that's listening to this podcast and actually does that. We just absolutely killed them. But there is actually, you're not supposed to do it that way. You're supposed to actually not hold on to that thing. That thing is literally for an emergency in case you actually stumble.
Yeah.
But another thing I wanted to ask.
Oh yeah.
Ron, is you guys, personal trainers, you all go through you all educated, you actually have to get like a sports science degree, everything like that.
Nutrition.
But why is the way every personal trainer trains so different? So will you see a next person and say, do you know what, you shouldn't be training the system, the routine shouldn't be like this, it should be a different way? Or is it actually the same routine? And the reason why I ask is, let's say somebody is looking for a personal trainer. How do they know who to choose? Because literally the way I did it, was that guy looks buff. He must know what he's doing, right? Now, I've had about 3 to 4, maybe 4 personal trainers in my life, and all of them have been model grade.
Okay.
The model grade people with 6-packs and everything. Because I'm like thinking, if you can't even get a 6-pack, how are you going to get me a 6-pack, right? So how should a person approach that? And even female gym trainers, do you think, I'm sure a lot of guys will actually prefer guys, but is it still okay to have a female gym trainer? Maybe you could shed some light on that.
That's okay. At the very beginning, I was pretty much on the superficial aspect. So I always think that the personal trainer should be the fitness model kind of level. I mean, not to discredit those who are looking like that, but I think that any potential clients should actually look at their trainers, their potential trainers' credibility. because you're ultimately buying his or her knowledge and background. It's not so much on his or her physical look. But of course, as a trainer, you do have to look the part.
Yeah.
Sad to say, but it is true. To answer to your question, how do you find that which trainer is the right one for you? I must say that the chemistry is important to begin with. Even, I mean, no matter how good the trainer is, right? If you guys can't get along, or either party just don't want to listen to each other, then this relationship between a trainer and the client will definitely not work out. Yeah. I can't give you a definite answer. Probably a trial and error. That is why maybe a trial session comes in play. But there's only that many number of trial sessions you can take, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person that goes around the gym and everything. Nah, that guy's a trial person.
Yeah.
Like a nickname for that, right?
I'm always more than willing to take in a trial person. So from there, you can just build up a relationship to see whether he or she is keen to move on to the next stage in signing up a personal training session. I mean, because for the person to actually show interest in doing a trial session, it's already a first step to wanting a personal trainer. So as a personal trainer, right, why would I deny myself this opportunity of getting a new client? Many people don't want to do it because I'm doing it for free. Why do I want to waste my time? Yeah.
What kind of client is like the worst client that you hate training? See, even he's already like sighing because there's so many of them.
Okay, speaking from example, I have this guy who...
Name him.
Do you still have him?
No. I sacked him.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I sacked him. So here's this guy who is... he comes from a very well family. So he was 33 back then.
What is his
jobless.
IG handle?
I don't want to know. I don't know. Yeah. So his family business, his family business runs hotel chains.
Okay.
33 years old, holds a double master's degree, jobless.
Okay.
So his on the plus side, so his mom actually signed him up for personal training. So basically him being down in the gym was by force. So he's
how big are we talking
late.
about here? When you say plus size, how big are we talking about?
120 kilos, 130.
Whoa.
But it depends how tall he is.
120 kilos, no matter how tall you are, mate.
Yeah, maybe he's
big.
2 meters.
No.
Meters. Okay, what's the height?
He's like 1.5.
170 something.
Okay.
So yeah, so
probably goes to the same places that Long Long eats at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy was a complete waste of my time. So I waited down at the lobby for him. He comes down about 10-15 minutes late. He took 5 minutes to tie his shoelace. So this guy has a bit of a...
Is that because he can't bend down though?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
No, that sounds like I'm taking a piss, but it's true.
His attitude.
He has some OCD, some behavioral issues.
Okay.
So each time he goes into the gym, then if there's someone else in the gym, he totally cannot function. He just kind of stops. Or somebody's just walking on a treadmill, right? He had to borrow my phone, call his mom to bring down an earplug so that he can cancel out the noise and then work.
Wow. Well, I'm impressed because given that he is so spoiled, right? I thought he would have asked someone to bring the person on the treadmill out, please leave the gym.
I'm like, oh. So basically the entire session is just me trying to get him to move. Other than that, he's just sitting on the bench, just sulking away. So I actually spoke to his mom, but
he's 33.
Yes. So I couldn't handle. So I texted her a long essay, SMS. That was back then, telling her that no, I'm not gonna train him anymore. I'm gonna here's your money. I refunded her back the remaining sessions. I said, okay, good luck.
I'm just thinking whether you could get him into the pool and just get him to walk in the pool, up and down, up and down. A lot of footballers do that as post training. That's still more resistance than he would normally get. right?
I think you'll be more annoyed that he has to like get
Change.
like his hair wet and changed and everything.
Yeah. I mean, he's just someone who is totally unmotivated.
Okay, the most important question is he fit now?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean, I wasn't
I'm
his trainer.
shocked.
He used to have another trainer as well. So I think maybe he changed trainer because the other one gave up on him as well, I think.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked. This is amazing.
Like, Ron,
What
if you
is
can
it-
actually
yeah.
say, when they actually talk about getting fit, how much is, there's a few things I want to know. How much is mental, would you say percentage wise? And how much is diet related?
Oh, diet plays a very big role in trying to get fit. Okay, wait. Let me rephrase. You can work out every day and eat McDonald's every meal, and you can still get fit. But are you healthy? No. So
You are.
Yeah,
McDonald's
exactly. Not look,
Hey,
like not on
can
this
I just say,
podcast, okay?
McDonald's uses premium potatoes and fish.
What?
And beef.
No, what he's saying is, if you can not go to McDonald's, but you can go to like Shake Shack or KFC instead.
Yeah, you
That's
can
what you're
eat
saying.
any fast food. You can work out all day and eat fast food all day. You can get fit, but are you any healthier? Maybe not.
You are.
Yeah, but so I said diet.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
that's
care.
one.
I'm gonna re-edit this podcast so that it just sounds like he said you could eat McDonald's. Yes, you are healthy.
Yeah. Take the unhealthy, edit the unhealthy part.
Yeah.
It says yes, you can. Okay.
So
go on.
sorry. Last question. So I keep dwelling on this person because I just find it so fascinating that this kind of character exists.
No, you know what I'm
Yeah.
thinking about?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the one time Lang DM'd me,
Yeah.
and I think I posted like a story or something, and then it was like me waiting in line, and then she's like, "Wait, but if you're waiting for McDonald's, it's totally worth it."
Hang on, what? You got to finish the joke. You didn't hear the joke.
What?
No, I remember this.
No, I was waiting in line for coffee, or I was waiting in line for something, and then she just DM'd me. She's like, "Wait, but if you're waiting for McDonald's, it's totally like what's waiting? Like it's totally worth it. What are you on?" It's just out of the blue. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. So my last question is, what does he wear to the gym?
What a
Why are you
question.
so obsessed with it?
No, because
Move
I'm like,
on.
You know why she's obsessed, right?
No.
Because this guy is her perfect guy.
No, I'm like,
Yeah.
if he's such a diva, right? Is he the kind of guy who wears like something that's completely inappropriate for the gym? That's what I want to know.
Is he dressed in like the latest Nike gear? Looks the part.
I think he's probably wearing his pajamas down. He looks the sort. Baggy t-shirt and then very baggy trousers. Unkept hair. With his shoelaces untied.
Wait,
Yeah.
but if
Dude,
he's
that's
OCD,
amazing.
why doesn't he tie it upstairs?
Yeah.
Precisely. You know, there was one day I remember his mom texted me that he's going to be late because he's still tying his shoelace. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like 10 minutes into the appointment and he's still trying to do his shoelace.
No,
I'm like,
it's not.
what's up with him and his
No.
shoelaces?
Like the bit I find about that is that his mum messaged you to tell him. Like that's the
Nicely.
weird part. Not the tying
Yeah.
10 minutes your shoelace up. The fact that he's up there, but you're getting the message from his mum, and this guy's supposed to be 33.
And
He's a
hold on,
mommy's boy.
factors. That's what I'm worried. Like I'm confused about. How did he get the motivation to complete his 2 degrees? If he's like,
I don't know. He
Maybe it's
graduated
paid
from
for.
Switzerland.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking that, yeah.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
he's what?
But okay, to be honest, like I know we laugh about it, but he might actually mentally be challenged,
I think so.
right?
I think so.
And can
Yeah.
you imagine? I kind of feel bad for him because imagine when he's trying to date a girl and he's actually trying to tie his shoelace and he's late and he has to text the girl to be like, I'm still tying my shoelace. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then, this is what I was thinking.
But if he's dating you, then you'll just be like,
Yeah.
"It's okay. I'll just wait you in front of McDonald's. Come on, take your time."
I would say,
You'd say
I'll be like,
Big Mac or super size. That's what she'd say.
No, I'll be like, I'll actually get him shoes, which are slip on, or like Velcro, or like Crocs.
Crocs.
Yeah.
Crocs.
All right.
But okay, Ron, we have a laugh about your gym now, but we also in China, all the gym people that I've noticed, the personal trainers, they're all into Panerai, right?
Are they?
Yeah, in China they are. But how does a gym guy, get the sudden interest to get fascinated by watches? What is it that draws you to watches? How did you get exposed to watches?
It was when I was young in primary school. I was pretty obsessed with timekeeping, always counting down to recess, canteen breaks, and and then at the end of the school day, so I'm always like working backwards, like how many hours left and stuff like that. So I'm constantly looking down at my wrist. Is class going to be over? Looking at the wall clock. It's like, is it going to be end of school? Yeah. So from then, so I was wearing watches when I was young. Those cheap quartz watches from the flea market. So once the battery dies out, I can just literally throw the watch away and buy a new one.
Okay. So what you're saying is you actually got into watches for the time functioning actually of watches, because you had basically a crap school life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
So
when I really got into mechanical watches, or you can say a serious watch collecting.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, Jack.
Ron was training that guy. Was he looking down at his wrist and counting down the minutes when it's
I was.
over?
I was.
Poor guy, man. Poor guy is like got absolutely rinsed on this podcast.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, can I just ask you?
Is that guy into watches?
No.
Yeah, at the end of this podcast, after we're like stop recording, can you tell us who it is? Dude, I'm like obsessed. It's just too funny. I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah. And I'm there feeling bad when I'm working out, thinking, what if I smell? Like, what if I'm like wasting this guy's time? And I'm thinking all this stuff. And there's people there taking 5 minutes to tie the shoelace.
Well.
But anybody that follows your account, Ron, you've got quite a healthy Instagram page. You knows that you're a massive fan of this brand called Gorilla.
Yeah.
Right? That I believe was founded by two people from AP. I might be wrong, I might be right. Yeah. What can you tell us about the brand, and what's the key DNA of it, and why is it special to you?
I was looking at buying another watch from another brand from that price point, and I was introduced to Gorilla by my AD, Watch Wonderland. So it was back in 2017. So I got a chance to look at it. So I was actually very impressed by its price point and the avant-garde materials used in the watch. So compromises of materials such as ceramic bezel, titanium case back, and forged carbon case. So these case materials are typically found in more expensive pieces, right? In like APs and all. So, and with the background of Octavio and Lucas, both formerly from AP, especially Octavio, who was the chief designer for AP for the last 12 years, right up to 2015, 2016. So I thought that the design is pretty unique for its price point for a micro/independent brands. So yeah, I was completely drawn into it. And I was fortunate enough to meet Octavio in person for the grand opening of Watch Wonderland. So that actually sparked me to collect most of their pieces. I would like to say that I like to collect every piece, but I don't have that much disposable income to do that. Yeah.
So one thing that you've also recently acquired is the Tiso Trx, which you basically operate in a value proposition kind of range. I would say most of the pieces you have are relatively affordable as timepieces go. You kind of mentioned it in your answer last, which was about, you get these materials at this price point, which you normally see in maybe Hublot or AP. How do you assess value in the value proposition range?
Wow. Movement is one thing. I would like to see. Never really thought about it. I think it's more on aesthetics as well.
For
Still on
sure.
Yeah, I mean,
aesthetics.
aesthetics. I mean, I'm not a watchmaker, so the movement to me is secondary, to be honest. You can give me a Miyota or a Seiko NH35. If the watch looks nice, I would just buy it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So in terms of value proposition, I think I wouldn't go wrong with anything that is ETA based.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are still looking at some, like your minimum standard, I guess, would be Myota and ETA movements. And then you're probably looking at materials as well, and then overall design. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which piece in your collection is the most meaningful to you?
Well, most of the pieces in my collection are all sentimental. I would say can I name three maybe?
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Three's a lot, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, three most. Okay. So the Black Bay that I have in my hand now, it's a 5 months production, the one with the rose and the smiley text. But what made this so special is the laser etched engraving on the case back of my late dog. So I was actually paying a 30-day tribute to my dog last year. So kind of like I post a picture of the watch for the day that I was wearing and then spending time with my dog and doing something. So apparently Tudor Singapore caught up with some of my Black Bay posts and they dropped me a message to offer to do something for me, something special. So I got a message for me to drop my watch over at the service center. They asked me to email pictures of my dog so that they can do the laser etch on the case back. So I did. So it was out of some goodwill service from them. So this is one of the watches in my collection that will never be sold.
That was a particularly difficult time for you, right? Because it came
Yeah,
out the
it
blue.
was. Yeah. It was a sudden passing. I mean, he was only 5 years young, right? So yeah, we were all caught by surprise. The vet didn't mention anything. So we admitted him into the ICU the day before. And then 24 hours, he was gone. So it was a complete shock. Yeah. So
that
this
was,
watch would mean something
yeah.
to me.
Yeah, super meaningful, and well done for Tudor for getting on that. And
yeah, it was very nice of them. It's not often they reach out to anyone, right?
I'm
That's super
shocked.
meaningful.
Yeah, like I'm really shocked. That's so good.
Yeah, it was very nice of them. So yeah, everything's free of charge. So I get a lot of DMs each time asking me how much I did it for. But I told them this is something that Tudor doesn't offer to anyone else. It was just like a one-off service. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's an amazing story. I was actually totally unaware of that story because I have you shared that on your IG account?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I didn't see it. Wow.
So I did like a throwback of 1 year.
Well, how'd you beat that? Like as the most meaningful piece? Like what are the other two?
The other one is this Gorilla Fastback Drift. It is This is a finalist of the GPHG Challenge category back in 2018. The first complication watch from Gorilla, spotting the wandering hours in collaboration with a voucher manufacturer. So this piece is special to me is because I didn't specifically ask for this, but Gorilla did it for me. It says straight out from the factory to our dear friend Horologim.
Man, my takeaway so far is basically don't ask for anything and just keep praying.
Yeah. So yeah, I placed an order for this, and then my AD just dropped me a message says, Gorilla have something special for you. So I didn't know what it was until the day I went down, paid the money, paid for the watch, and I collected it. And I'm like, wow. I mean, to have my IG handle engraved on the case back out from the factory is wow.
That is class. Pure class. I got to say,
And
the
then-
Tudor one is pure class.
Mhm.
That the gorilla one, again, pure class. I hope you
Yeah.
saved the best to the last.
Yeah, and so the gorilla, right? Octavio just gave me like a handwritten note to thank me for
Mhm.
pioneering the brand and having faith and trust in them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
So yeah, this is something totally unexpected. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So very happy
Mhm.
about it. Or you can call it a piece unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a piece
Totally.
unique.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the last piece I would like to talk about is my Rolex Submariner, the reference 14060 two-liner.
Mm,
So this is the watch that actually gotten me to start watch collecting.
mm,
So this is the piece that has gone through thick and thin with me. I got it for my 30th birthday present 7 years ago. So you can calculate my age now.
Yeah. 22.
So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, this watch used to be my daily beater. I wear it to the gym. I wore it back to the army for my reservists, yearly reservists. So I crawled through the mud, went for life range, and did everything I did when I was 18 with this watch. Call me
Okay.
crazy. I wouldn't want to pay tens of thousands of dollars buying a meal sub when I can do my own meal sub.
Mm.
ah,
So yeah. So lots of battle scars on this watch for me to tell a story. Yeah. So a bit of a scarf marks from my late dog when he was a puppy. He was like teething, right? He's constantly nibbling on my hand. So I remember wearing this watch, coming back home and then scratching his ear, and then he started like biting. Yeah, biting. So yeah, looking at the locks now, I can see a few of his teeth mark. Yeah. So this is another piece in my collection that will never be sold.
mm,
Wow. Bit
Yep.
speechless. That's pretty awesome. Like, I have to say, I was thinking that the sub would be a bit of a weaker story, but the way you say about your
Yeah.
dog, your late dog, and I
Yeah.
know, from our previous conversation, because it was so sudden, you're still not completely over it. You really do see them as your children, right?
Yeah.
And to see that sign in your watch with a watch that has been through you, like you say, thick and thin, must be, it really is like irreplaceable. It's one of those things in life that you never get back, and it's priceless.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember just sitting at Starbucks, just thinking about my dog, just looking through it, his videos and pictures, and just crying to myself.
Are you ever gonna
Yeah.
get another dog then?
I have two now.
Whoa.
Yeah. Two poodles, one miniature poodle and one toy poodle. Yeah.
What is the
So-
reason you keep buying poodles? Because for a lot of people, it's also the allergy issue. That's why they do it, right? Because they don't shed and everything. So, or is it just
Correct.
your favorite? Okay.
I wanted to get a pug at the beginning, but I threw that idea out the window, knowing that they shed too much. So I think poodle. I mean, I spoke around with many dog owners, so they say that poodles are intelligent, stuff like that.
Very.
So yeah, I decided to just stick with poodle. So since I got Happy, my late dog, so now I guess I'm not gonna change the dog breed.
Okay.
I have a question. Like when did Happy pass?
Last February.
Last February. And when
Yeah.
did you get your new dog?
Okay. I am completely surprised that I got the new dog in March. It's actually slightly less than a month after his passing. It came as a complete surprise because Chewy, this bigger dog, he was 5 months at the store. So he was already a much older and bigger sized dog compared to those in the store. So it's like thinking that if I'm not going to get him, probably no one else will. So he was going to be an overstay right there. And then the thing is, Chewy looked a lot like Happy, and his size. I mean, for a 5-month-old, he was already like a full-grown size. So I thought, okay, let's get him back.
Yeah. So when you
Yeah.
got Chewy, like, did you, was
Yeah.
there like a part of you, or is there still a part of you that when you look at him, you think of Happy, or do you only see like,
I do see them both as separate individual.
mm,
Yeah, I mean, Chewy can never replace Happy because
mm,
Happy is always my first and holds a special place in my heart.
mm,
Yeah, and then surprisingly, Choco, the small toy poodle, she came into the picture in sometime in April. So it's about 3 weeks after we got Chewy, Choco came in. So she was more like an emergency case because her previous owner passed away. And then we were under lockdown
mm,
last year during that time. So I was actually thinking, okay, why not we foster her for a week and see how it goes? So surprisingly, Chewy and Choco got along very well. So
mm.
on the third day, I just texted the person who brought the dog over, the Choco over. So I said, yeah, we're gonna be keeping her.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Yep.
because
So this is how I ended with two dogs.
mm.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of rounds up the interview with Ron. And as our listeners are accustomed to, there is a follow-on quickfire. But before we go there, I decided to try a little small segment here where you can ask us questions.
Okay.
And I believe you've prepared 3 questions, one for us each, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, shoot for it. Go for it.
Okay. I'll start off with you then.
Okay.
So where do you see the waiting list podcast in the near future? Are you gonna commercialize it, sell it to Houdinki, or just
Well,
keeping it casual?
okay. I just want to keep it quiet and between me and the rest of the audience.
Okay.
We were actually offered 100 million by Hidinki to commercialize it and to be part of their umbrella. I said 101. They said no. And so talks are still occurring. But quite frankly, no, I'm joking. Like we didn't have any, we don't have any plans to commercialize it. It isn't
Mhm,
something that at the moment we feel that we need to commercialize. I think I'll be
mhm,
honest, and I
mhm.
don't know if this goes for everybody here, like Jacqueline and Long Long. It's an excuse to meet my friends once a week, right? And have a chat and follow up and everything and meet some new people and learn something. You know, I've learned a
Mhm,
lot from you today. I feel that if I hadn't had this interview with you, um, I wouldn't have maybe got so deep in understanding you as a person.
mhm,
How actually such a caring, thoughtful, deep person you are.
mhm.
Because, we mainly know each other through Instagram. And I think a lot of the relationships we have now are through Instagram, but it's done through a
Yeah.
very superficial way and through a very controlled way.
yes.
Mhm,
These conversations let us make friends in a different way.
Mm,
And right now, that's value to me.
mm,
But mostly, I get to hang out with these 2 wonderful friends of mine that incredibly, bring a lot of positivity to me. Right. So, yeah, it's a great creative outlet for that. So I hope that answers your question. Does it?
nice.
mm.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Jacqueline, any future plans like post grad or looking at which industry you're gonna be working after graduating?
Mm. Yes. So for the past 3 years of my life, I've been
Mhm,
involved in venture capital and startups.
mhm,
Basically, doing startup accelerators, helping founders start their company and then go around planning for seeders and seed rounds. That's something
mhm,
I'm passionate about because I like feeling the raw emotion of a group of like-minded people trying to build something together, and I personally value the importance of teamwork. It's one of the
mhm,
values that I put first and foremost in my personal life. So I'm thinking something amongst that realm, be it like doing something of my own or continuing being in VC. I'm also very recently um, started to develop like a keen interest in blockchain and
mhm,
crypto. So, but that's just like my side hobby. But what I'm really like doing more research on is supply chain, the supply chain industry. I think it's absolutely fascinating how the world over the past 24 months has evolved, you know, be it like right before COVID to during COVID and now, has evolved to adapt to the way that we live through supply chain, because everything now is like basically e-commerce. So maybe something in that realm. I definitely wish to be some ways involved in watches, like be it like a side hobby, or with the waiting list and other things in the industry. But I would see myself more stepping into the VC or the startups, basically doing what I've been doing. Yeah.
Okay. It's very cool for a young girl to do that.
Thank you.
Can I just say, anyone that hears Jacqueline and that want to poach her or like hire her, you have to pay me and Dan a fee. Like,
yeah,
we are like
HR fee. I found this
Yeah.
diamond. Yeah, I polished it up. You're gonna pay me
Technically,
now
you
for
didn't.
it.
No.
We know who found her.
No.
Okay,
They
it's the
have to
polishing and the
pay you.
branding that matters, and we did that
They
part.
have
sure,
to pay you
sure.
for because you guys withstood my BO for like the past year, and
We did.
gave
Yeah.
like awareness to other people.
Yeah, but I want to say also, some people will be listening to that and realizing Jacqueline's 23 years old and thinking, fuck, what the fuck? I'm not thinking all that shit. And you know what? That's okay, by the way. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right, your last question, Ron.
Hey, Lulu. How's it like being in the male-dominant watch industry or hobby? Any pros and cons? Are you being constantly judged?
Good question.
Okay. Very good question. In a nutshell, I think it's okay. Like I actually never thought twice about it, like I actually never thought, oh, it's a male dominated hobby. Because I think just growing up, everything that I have been drawn to has been considered a male dominated hobby, right? Like I had to play golf when I was young, so that was mainly men. And then I got into computer games, that was all guys. I love cars, it's mainly guys. And then now this, so I never thought, oh, I'm a girl and guy, whatever, all this. Do I get judged? Yeah, of course. And so does Jacqueline, I'm pretty sure. And but none of this really bothers me. None of it bothers me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I find it really funny that this is still categorized as a gender, like people putting genders on things. But I don't even care. It's like saying like most of the chefs in the world are like the famous ones are men. It doesn't bother me at all. Everything only bothers you if you take it very personally and you think that you can't fit into a category, or like someone says something to you and it's directed at you. Actually, none of this stuff matters. So I think people kind of read too much into it. You can always walk away. Like you can feel something, but it's your reaction to like how you feel, to your emotions, that kind of like, I think that says a lot about your character. So you can feel insulted, so you can feel that feeling of feeling insulted, but then how do you respond?
Yeah.
Right. If you say, okay, I feel insulted, but I love watches, so I don't care.
Yeah.
That says a lot. Instead of being like, I feel insulted, I'm gonna put a message out there, I'm gonna hate on this group of people. I just think that's a bit too much. Yeah.
Or when you feel insulted and you feel the need to do this stuff, maybe it just proves that you might not like watches as much as you thought, because your main focus is on this, totally unrelated, well, not totally unrelated, but yeah, subject. Like whenever I call a dealership or secondhand store, and they hear my voice, and the first question always is like, are you buying something for your brother or like your dad or something? And then I just, no, I'm actually buying for myself. Or when I walk into a dealership, they usually ask me, oh, are you looking for something for yourself? And when I say yes, they guide me towards the lady section.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get insulted because it's just how we operate in the world, right? We pick up cues and then we just make our educated guess. But then you just, it's a good conversation starter. Oh, actually, I'm looking for something for myself, but actually I'm more interested in this whole other, range. And I think it's always good to get that conversation started. And with the help of Instagram, with more, girls reaching out and being interested in these watch, I think is a really great community. But there is a distinction that I want to make. I think this might come off as really harsh, but it's something that I've been picking up a lot. I think being a girl in a male dominated field or male dominated interest has its distinct upsides, because you are so out there, and men tend to usually have piqued interest when they see a girl having an interest in watches, and I can't refuse that. It is a true thing. But when I see women kind of using that and taking advantage of that fact that they are a girl and that they are into watches to a level, I'm not going to say which level, but posting things that overly sexualizes or whatever, that does get to me, because I think it's no longer about this shared passion about this community, whereas it's more like taking advantage of their gender and their sex to make a name for themselves, or to
I think what you're saying is once they do that, it's more about them than the actual watch hobby.
then the whole community as itself. Yes.
And then I think Long Long is about taking anything and trying to see the positive aspect and making it into a positive. Like negativity doesn't help anyone.
I agree with Jacqueline that I think the thing that scares me, so when I see this kind of behavior, my first reaction is, okay, I'm upset. Then my second reaction is, why are you upset? You must be scared, right? About something that's causing me to be upset. Then I realized, I'm scared because I've spent like it kills the credibility of people who are really into it. Like the amount of time, like say, okay, I know this is just generalizing, like me and Jacqueline have to research, read and find stuff because we really want to watch. It kills our credibility when we call the dealer, because you have now just gone and put up done this. And then now everyone's going to categorize girls being like that, And then the second thing I feel upset about is, will this person, even though it's none of my business, right? It's like, will this person ever learn in this lifetime that you don't need validation from people? So you don't need to do that. You don't need to post these pictures like that. And I think if you actually find girls who are very sexual, right? Who post all this stuff, when people are sexual, you actually appreciate it. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but you can actually tell it's authentic. You can always tell when it's just, this is a very sexual person. They're very free with their body, and you will actually just let them do that. But right now, a lot of the content is really forced. It's forced, and it's really forced. And I always think to myself, if you're going to go down this path, it's a very expensive hobby if that's how you're going to gain your likes. You might as well go and gain more followers from, I don't know, food bags or something else that's cheaper.
But I do wonder, like, do men think that it is forced, or is it just something that girls can pick up?
I think they know, but they don't mind, right?
Yeah, they don't mind.
Nah, for me, I'll go first. I find it a bit crass. I don't like it. Like, if I want to see watches, I want to see watches, right? And I want to see the appreciation of watches, right? Sexualizing it with your body, like for the sake of the likes, where the focus of the picture is no longer the watch, it's you. Though it's not about the watch then, is it? It's about, just another hot chick. And if I want to see a hot chick, then maybe I'll go to a different page. The two things are very separate in my mind, because I have a serious passion for watches. So I don't want that that the talk about watches, the discussion about watches, diluted or taken to that crassness level. Because to me, watches are more than that. So that's how I feel. How about you, Ron?
I agree with you. I mean, if I want to look at other hot chick, I can probably just search through other Instagram pages, right? Why do I need
Like,
someone
can you
else
give
to
us
then
some
post?
examples?
Yeah, there's loads.
I don't know.
I'll send you some.
Everyone I'm following on my Instagram is just watch related accounts.
But even like
Yeah.
even when it comes to those accounts, right? You've got some ones which are just classy. The photo is taken in a classy way where you see the femininity of it, right? And it might be 60s, 70s shot, black and white. I really like those shots. Yeah, and I think, wow, you know, that's class. There's a style to it. There's an artistic side to it. Rather than just like having a hot body in like the latest bikini or whatever. Yeah, I can appreciate the body, but it's a bit too easy.
The picture has to tell a story.
Yeah, it's got to have something a bit more than that. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just porn. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But let's go on to the quick fire. Okay. A short one today. Right. Number 1. What is your biggest gym pet peeve?
Somebody wasting my time sitting on the machine exercising his or her thumbs.
Oh God, that pisses me off too. That really pisses me off, especially if they're on like a commonly used equipment. I think, fucking hell, man. Like, you've still got like at least like 5 sets to do, and every time you're like a few minutes in between sets.
Yeah.
His rest time is longer than my workout. That's all I can say. Yeah, what's the point of going to the gym and then sit down, crossing your legs, and then exercising your thumbs, playing with your phone, and then not doing anything?
Like hiding from the wife.
So I approach him. So how many more sets left? He was like, So he don't even know how many sets left, or probably just going to the gym without an objective, or
the objective is to take a gym selfie and then leave.
Yeah, true.
And then leave.
Yeah. Clocked in. Yeah. Right. Number 2. Best cardio fat burning exercise.
Running.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of running? Be specific. Like jogging.
Like, how high
strolling.
Do my arms need
yeah.
to be?
How high should your legs be? You know. Like...
Okay. If you're rushing for time, then time trial is important. HIIT. Yeah. So you can do like interval training. So you can do depending on your fitness level, again, you can do a 1:1 work is to rest ratio, or even 2:1. Okay. So if you're a beginner, probably you can do it is a 1:3. Yeah. So you can do like a 1 minute sprint, 3 minutes just walk and recover, and then you do like this, so on and so forth. Yeah. If you have more than enough time, you can do like a.
And how long should you do that for? 20 minutes?
For sprints? Yeah, 20 minutes. Yes, that's a good number. If you can push beyond 20 minutes, right, that means your HIIT is not intense enough.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always this misconception. Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the point of going beyond 20 minutes? That means your first 20 minutes isn't pushing hard enough.
Yeah.
I get that with eating. Like, you can do 1 minute scoffing your face for ages, and then you get like the food coma. And then if you can't eat anymore, you're done.
Can I recommend a really good song to listen to when doing HIIT?
Yes, please.
Every time. Run It Up. It's literally called Run It Up. And the song consists of 99% of it is just Run It Up. But the rhythm...
Isn't it really old?
It's like, Run It Up. Run It Up.
No, do you know what we should do?
Lil J.
That one. It's so good. Yeah. That's the song I go to when I'm at the end of my workout, when I'm tired. But then every time I listen to that, I just push through, and then I feel so good because the song's actually pretty long. But it's the same like lyrics, so it doesn't feel that long, and you just push through it. It's such a good song. And then if you listen to Chinese songs, my favorite Chinese song to listen to while doing running, it's called 平凡之路, which I've recommended this to a lot of people, And they are always surprised when they hear this because the song is actually slow rhythm and it's not intense at all. But why do I like it? Because the song is exactly 5 minutes. So then I calculate in my mind, okay, I just need to listen it to 3 times and then I'm done.
Okay.
Oh my God.
But what we
Sounds like
actually
torture.
recommend is that when
Yeah.
you're doing the gym, you should be listening to the Waiting List podcast. That's what
Dude,
we
by
should
the
do.
way, I'm not even joking. Iwei listens to the Waiting List podcast to run to. And I was like,
Wow.
dude, you're sick. You're sick.
You
Like-
ain't listening to this. You're
Yeah.
So
really
I
dope.
guess we need to talk at 120 beats per minute, right?
Yeah. Wow. That's
Right. So what was the other thing you were saying? Lists, right? That's low intensity, something stability, something, right?
Just remember LSD. I'm not promoting drug here, but long slow duration.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, it's just for fat burning, for you to complete the distance rather than doing a time trial.
Mm.
So if you can go at a slower pace, you can just extend your distance. That would help in burning more calories as well, rather than doing a quick fire, a sprint, then you're completely flat out.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Next quick fire. What's the next piece you are looking at?
Probably the Tiso Powermatic 80, the automatic version of the PRX
Okay.
that I just got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Number 5. How many press ups can you do in one go?
My last
Press up.
recorded, if I remember correctly,
Like
is
push-ups, right?
Yeah, push ups.
Correct.
Yeah.
54 in 60 seconds.
Oh my God.
That's pretty fast, actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's very
And then
good.
the
actually.
Yeah.
follow-up question is, how many press ups can you do, Dan?
I've never actually tried to do a max press up thing, but I'll do it and I'll let you guys know. I will actually do it and I'll see.
Wait, do you guys
It's a
remember
minute, right?
there was
It's a minute, yeah.
the push-up challenge?
Mm.
Yeah.
Remember, there was
Yeah.
a push-up challenge.
Yeah, but I can't do it now because I just did like the bench press yesterday and my pecs are like really
Same.
sore.
Whatever, excuses. Like, you're just as bad as that client that he was talking about. Full of excuses.
I am, yeah. I'm just there for the selfie
Yeah.
shot. Yeah.
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 All right, the last one. You do a lot online and offline. What is the best part of watch collecting in your opinion?
Mm.
Oh, friendship. Easily. Watch collecting allows me to meet people all over the world.
Mm.
Like, for example, like you guys, right? If not for watch collecting, I wouldn't be sitting here speaking with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
all the nice people that I've met along the way. Yeah, I
What
remember
about the
like
mean
one time,
people?
the mean people, thankfully not so. Mean people are just basically those who actually go to the AD, mentions your name, say, I know so and so, then can I get this, can I get that, without even first informing you. I think that's pretty mean. Although it's harmless, but I really don't like the idea of that. Yeah.
Have you, by the way, I'm just curious because Singapore is so small. Have you ever, do people say, hey, are you Ronald Chew? Like randomly? Like watch people?
No,
Okay.
but I do get a Facebook message like, hey, I recognize you. I saw you somewhere. You were wearing
Whoa.
a said watch. Then I'm like, okay, but I don't know who you are.
Oh, that's creepy.
You should be
Yeah.
like,
But
I don't know
but
who
at least
you are, but yeah.
yeah, but at least the conversation is about the watch, thankfully, and nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Long gets said a lot, right?
Yeah, but then it's, yeah.
Something
No,
about the oyster
Long is
flags.
like, hey, Long, I saw you where. Hey, can I get an AP?
Right. Okay. So that finishes the podcast. Thank you, Ron. Really appreciate
Thank you so
coming onto
much.
the podcast. Appreciate your time as always. And when the borders open, let's see each other somewhere and talk watches again. Maybe Singapore, since I've never been there. So thank you guys for listening and tuning in. See you guys on the next one. Bye.
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 Thank you for tuning in to the Waiting List podcast. Hit the subscribe button and the next episode will come straight to your phone as soon as it's ready. Whilst I'm here, please remember to leave a nice review and follow us on Instagram at the Waiting List Podcast.